right, guys, welcome to Becoming a Better You podcast. Today we have a special guest who is Sensei Aleah.
Hey.
So she teaches our jiu-jitsu classes as well as our fitness kickboxing classes. But there was also one time where she was a beginner. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how the studio has helped her become a better person. So Aleah, welcome.
Welcome.
So do you know how long you've actually been training?
I started in 2014. So that would be 8 years.
You're very good. You're very good at math.
8 or 9 years.
And so thinking back all that time, do you remember why you started?
I actually was going through a very stressful time in my life. I was kind of breaking up out of a relationship. Had always had an interest in martial arts, and I knew Marc from back in the college days.
That's when you were chasing me around the dorm?
No. But I knew him from the college days, and he had actually posted something really positive on Facebook, and I messaged him. He's like, come to the dojo. And I was kind of scared. I'm like, I have no martial arts experience. Like, what the heck? And he was like, just come. You'll love it. And I came that first day, and I never left.
Right. I've been trying to get rid of you ever since. Yeah.
He has, but he can't.
And so I think that's one of the big things that you don't realize until you actually have a community of people who are like-minded, who want to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about starting because of some kind of incident as far as breaking up a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, you've been around me a long time. The dojo's been with me through
Lots of things.
A few relationship breakups. And I think that's one of the things that keeps me stable because I always have like this positive thing to go back to.
Yes.
Right. I think that's very vital for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so over the 8 years, how has the studio changed you? Now, I want to say this too. It doesn't have to be just a martial arts studio. It could be anything someone goes. It could be a church group. It could be, friends getting together every week. It could be whatever. But how has the studio helped you?
Well, when you join like a dojo or a studio, it becomes like family. So you always have this mutual support no matter what you're going through. I can speak. I work in the mental health field. I have a very stressful job. So I can have the most stressful day and just show up at the dojo and just see everyone here and start teaching or training. And just my mood goes from like 60% to like 120. Like you just feel great just being around people that are like family. And that physical activity always helps with your mood. So for me, on stressful days or times when I felt stressed, the dojo has always been there to boost me up, boost my energy up, and just help me feel good overall. So,
and I think that's important. We just had a nurse practitioner upstairs, and she was talking to the coach, and she's like, "This is the only time I don't think about work."
Yes,
right. Because when you do work in the medical community like we did, it can be draining because you're trying to give everything to help someone else.
Yes.
But again, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
So like you're giving, but you have to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about stress, is there a difference on days where you don't come to the dojo and how your stress level is? And right? Because for me, if I don't work out in the morning, I don't deal with stress as well throughout the day. So I actually work out every day now. Not necessarily for the physical aspect, but for the mental aspect of being able to handle stress more. Things can bounce off me, right? It's like I have a stress shield.
Stress shield. For me, I think it's more of the overall energy. I notice on the days that I don't come to the dojo or I can't make it or like I got held up at work, my energy just feels lower. My mood feels lower. My energy is lower. On the days that I do come, I feel like more uplifted, more positive, more energetic. My overall energy just feels higher. I just feel better overall in general. So. And
now for you, personal issues or even like family issues, how does that help you help them, right? Your family, like.
Well, you can't help anyone unless you're feeling good yourself. So when you're working out, you're having a sense of community, you're being around people that you care about, and people are, like I said, dojo's family. I feel like you feel overall better, so you're able to be more apt to help others. If you're not feeling good yourself, you don't have the energy to help others. So when you're working out, you're being around people, your energy is higher. You just feel good overall. You have more energy to kind of help others, to like, to go through your day in general and to be around people. Like when you're not feeling good, you just kind of I guess for me, I can say when I'm not feeling good, I kind of recluse. I'm more reclusive. I just don't want to be around people. But when I am feeling good, I'm happy, go lucky. I just want to be around everyone. I'm extroverted, so I do get my energy from the crowd and from being around people. So that dojo really helps with that. But like I said, when you feel better, you want to be around people and things like that.
Yeah, and so obviously, hopefully we're totally past Corona, but how did the dojo help you with Corona? Because with COVID, everyone was home, but we still had like a dojo to come to.
Yeah.
Right. We were filming different episodes and different things for the fitness kickboxing. But having that sense of community going through COVID, even if you didn't see us like talking, how did that help you versus if you did not have that? Where do you think?
So it helped me a lot because honestly, I had went from office to working at home. And like I said, I'm an extroverted person. I get my energy from being in the crowd, being around people. So that was one thing I really struggled with like literally waking up, rolling out of bed and sitting at my desk. Like that was not me, but
and you said you used to roll out 5 minutes before and just go to the...
Yeah, like it really affects the COVID thing really, and working from home really affected my routine. Like I used to wake up, I would go for my jog, I would have my tea in the morning and then go to work, get dressed. And then I went from that to like literally having to signing at 8, but waking up at like 7:50, so literally rolling out of bed and living, like I live in a loft, like, it's very open. So I would literally roll out of bed and sit at my desk. So that wasn't helpful to my routine, my energy, I didn't start my day off well. And then being able to come to the dojo, even though at some point there were times when the dojo was closed, we as coaches and instructors were filming. It really helped me because I needed that social interaction to go from working in an office setting to working from home and being like a kind of extroverted person. That's pretty hard. And so I struggled with that a lot. I started getting anxious, but I started having a little bit of depression because I felt very isolated, So coming to the dojo during that time and filming, even though it was smaller, I still got to have that human interaction, which was good for me. Yeah.
And so, from people that you work with and try to help, did you see a difference from people now post-COVID? Like, is there more anxiety? Is there more depression that you're seeing? Is it more severe? Have people not recovered from that?
So what I've noticed working in the mental health field forever and throughout this whole COVID, I've noticed, there was a lot of people having a lot of depression and anxiety during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were isolated. And like I said, I struggled with that. And then a lot of people who were in treatment has switched to, virtual.
Yeah, sure.
Which could be good as far as, if you have transportation issues. But some people, they really need that interpersonal connection. So they wasn't getting that.
Human connection.
The human connection, interpersonal connection, they wasn't getting that. So I've noticed a lot of people were getting like a lot more depressed, a lot more anxious. And then if you think about kids, if you think about like, society and social things, for some kids that are going through a lot of family stuff, sometimes that 6 hours at school was the best part of their day, or coming to the dojo for an hour was the best part of their day. The most time they felt positive energy and was around positive people, away from family stresses and drama. So I noticed a lot of kids were having a lot of trouble. And then a lot of people's depression went up, not only losing jobs, not being able to pay bills. So, COVID had a great effect on, mental health overall in general. And I've noticed, kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, anyways.
Well, we've actually seen it with kids in the studio, right? Because we did a lot more grappling before.
Yeah. But
now kids are not as comfortable
with grappling,
with just touching other kids, right? So we had to kind of change the way we do it because for the longest time, it was like, stay away from everybody, wear the mask.
6 feet.
So now to be like, hey, you're like wrestling. Yeah. They're just not used to it anymore. So it's one of the things that we kind of have to, we had to kind of change our training to adapt to what's going on.
So some of the older students or the kids that have been part of the dojo the studio for a while, they were used to grappling, and all of a sudden they couldn't do it. And then we had new students who never grappled before and they never got exposed to it. So now it's like, hey, we're grappling. What is that? Because we, 6 feet away, can't touch anyone, mask. So now that those things are lifted, it's great that we're able to reintroduce that to our training for the students, but it can be different because the students are not used to it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So what's the biggest lesson you learned from the dojo?
Well, I learned a lot. But as far as what exactly? Because I could go a lot of directions in this.
Go as far as you want. Give me one or two. Just the biggest.
Well, I learned how important incorporating like working out and training is to add into your like daily life, for your overall health, anxiety, depression, your mood, sense of community. It just benefits you in those ways. And then I also learned like it helped me personally with my anxiety. Being part of a dojo, like I'm very extroverted, I'm loud, I'm happy, but people don't know that I suffer from anxiety. And people who don't know me well would never notice that because I'm always like, hey, loud and happy, but they would never know that. Oh, yeah, I'm very anxious. I get panic attacks. And like being part of the dojo has helped, but also teaching has been one thing that's helped me. Like I would be a person, like I would have never seen me like teaching in front of a crowd of people and parents. I never knew I could do that. So that's something I learned and appreciated, but that has helped me so much with my anxiety. Like I get on the floor and I forget about my anxiety, which is such an amazing thing for me or for anyone that suffers from anxiety, you know, because anxiety can be very debilitating. It could cause a lot of stress, could cause you not to want to do things. And like kind of the dojo's really helped me with my anxiety, and teaching has been a big part of kind of eliminating or reducing my anxiety and feeling good about myself, overall self-esteem and feeling confident. So
yeah, do you think it gives you another role to play as a person? Right. So we all have these identities, right? So you're a teacher or you're a student or your mom, but like you're an instructor.
Yeah.
And with that comes these characteristics of a good instructor, which you want to be. So it kind of pushes that anxiety away.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't even think about it.
Yeah, like gone, like instantly.
Yeah.
So what do you love most about teaching the kids?
I love because they look up to you. Like when they come in and they're like, just excited to tell you about something about their day, or, you know, we try to get them to be focused, but sometimes they're just so excited to tell us about school or something that happened. So I think just building that connection, being a role model, a positive influence, they look up to you. They like, when I started teaching, I think I was like a yellow or orange belt, and now I'm a black belt. So some of the students saw me when I wasn't even a black belt, and they're like, whoa, Sensei Aleah is now a sensei. I can do it too. So that gives me joy and hope, and it just gives me happiness, and they see that they can do it too. And then, you know, we have kids from all different backgrounds. Some may have been bullied. Some might be really shy kids, and this is shy kids or quiet kids, and this is the time that they shine. So I think it's really good for them and for us to like work together. So I think that's one of the things that gives me the most joy is just helping them learn, helping them grow and be better kids, better people, and like more confident in themselves, building self-esteem, especially if they're getting bullied or maybe don't have as many friends at school, you know, and seeing them shine and making their parents proud. Like when they get their belts and their certificates, they're so excited. Can my mom take a picture with me? So that's just so exciting to see that they're achieving something, you know, and feeling good and feeling happy.
And on their own. Because it's not a team.
Yes, it's something they do have to do intrinsically and on their own. Yeah.
And, you know, for kids, martial arts training, like there's calisthenics, you're jumping, you do push-ups, you're running, right? Kids don't necessarily want to be doing that stuff, but you know what I'm saying? So you're teaching them, we're going through, you're teaching them that stuff. And karate like has that hard style of like, you know, it was made for men going to war.
Yep.
So even though we can adapt it, like, yeah, but like most kids aren't doing push-ups on their own.
Yeah.
But we take them through it, right? So they learn that. And then I think they take that confidence into school, right? You know, when I was growing up, you know, obviously I was always shorter than most people, right?
Me too.
I'm not shorter than you though. But the confidence of being a black belt, being able to take care of myself, like nobody really, I held myself a certain way, but nobody really tested me. You know what I'm saying? And if they did tested me, they learned not to test me, right? That's some fun stories. But you just take that confidence to other things.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the confidence, what I learned from being an instructor, then you have the confidence to write a book, or you have the confidence to make videos or do a podcast or whatever, because all that stuff is not as hard as getting your black belt.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it was hard.
Right. I remember, we didn't have mats like we had nowadays. I was getting thrown on wood floors, concrete.
I've seen those videos.
Yeah. So you just learn that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we try to instill that in the children now, have the confidence here in a safe zone.
Yes.
Right. And then go forward.
And that's a good point you made, is if you're in one area that you're excelling for a kid and they're building that confidence, they're able to extend that to other areas, whether it's school, whether it's making friends, whether it's reaching their goals or doing a sport. So it's kind of like when you're feeling really good and doing really great in one area, they're able to kind of see, I could do good. And they feel their self-esteem is overall higher. And that helps them in other areas of their life.
And the same for women going through a fitness transformation.
Exactly.
Right. So the person I'm talking to in the beginning of the fitness transformation and the person I'm talking to 6-8 weeks later,
it's different.
That person's so much more confident, right? It's almost like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm anxious, whatever. And then it's like, wow, like I'm down 10 pounds. I'm eating healthier. And again, when you eat healthier, you feel better.
You feel better. Yeah.
Right. So we're trying to instill, we're doing the same thing for different age groups.
Yes.
I'm trying to give you self-confidence. I'm trying to make you healthier. I'm trying to make you confident. And we're trying to make you a better person all at once. Right. And I don't think there's many other genres of business that do that. Right.
Exactly.
Like, one of my coaches says you're saving lives.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. So what other stuff do you do to keep yourself level? Right. I know, like, riding the Block Island Ferry is one of them.
Let's not talk about that. But yeah, I mean, so working out, and then when you join a dojo or studio, when you're working out, you kind of extend that to your outside of dojo life. So I felt like I'm eating better, eating healthier. There's times when we do challenges. So I've learned different like meal plans, or just communicating with other coaches or other students or others, patrons of the dojo, when they're telling me about, hey, I have this plan I've been doing, it's working for me, or here's some low carb meals, and I'm like, oh, let me try that out. So that's one thing, is eating better. I've learned from communicating and talking with not only other coaches, but with other dojo patrons about different food things. So I've been eating better. And when you're eating better, you feel better. Your energy's better when you're eating
You
healthy.
also save money.
You save money.
Because actually eating healthy is cheaper than eating bad.
Yes.
Right.
And you're not getting takeout, no cheeseburgers.
No cheeseburgers.
I mean, you got to cheat once in a while, but you're eating healthier.
Right.
And like part of that's overall, when you're eating better, that helps you feel better in general. Physically, your energy's better when you're eating healthier. So that's one thing. So my eating has changed a lot since being part of the dojo. And then just thinking about overall health, like rest patterns, stress patterns. And like I said, I mentioned before, I notice days that I don't work out or come to the dojo, my energy is different,
Yeah, I'm not usually
my
cranky,
vibes are different.
But yeah, my vibe is definitely different when I don't work out. Even for me, like I have my scheduled workouts, but like I'll go on a day I don't really have to work out, and I'll just move my body.
Yeah.
And then I'm good. Like it sets me up right for the day.
Exactly.
So what would you say to women who are watching this? They want to change. Like they know they don't like how they're feeling right now, but they don't know what to do. What would be the first step that they should take?
I would say just be open-minded and just try it. You can't knock it down till you try it. That's my thing. But, to give it time, anytime you try something new, you might not see the results right away. You might not feel the results right away. But over time, you'll start to notice changes and you'll feel better. And then I would say you'll see, like, joining a fitness program or studio and joining that sense of community, you will notice how much it affects other areas of your life over time, and you'll notice how better you feel. So it's just like, just try it, just be open-minded, try it out. And it's something I can personally say, you won't be disappointed. You'll get some benefit somewhere, some way. Yeah. There's so many benefits. you'll at least get a benefit.
And so let's take it a little bit further. So what if the anxiety is preventing them from doing that? So how do they start?
I'd say, no. So for some people, maybe if they're really anxious about joining a studio, maybe just coming in to observe the class and meeting with the coach or one of the coaches, or, even talking to another patron. I think that sometimes can help push you. But I think just, trying out and just knowing that I've always felt our dojo is very loving, very open-minded, and very family-centric, very people-centric. We're not a studio where people are going to make fun of you, knock you down, be rude to you. We're very friendly and loving, open-minded, and we really care about people here. So coming here, you'll definitely feel that energy. So I personally think just coming in, you'll always be greeted. You'll talk to someone that really genuinely cares about you. So I think that's one thing just to keep in mind, which is a good thing, that you wouldn't be entering this competitive, negative environment. You're entering a very positive, loving place.
So if someone lives in Anchorage, Alaska, right? They can work with us remotely, but say they wanted to go in studio there. So what are the things they're looking for in the studio, right? Because Marc doesn't have a branch in Alaska. It's a little bit too cold for me.
So just the overall culture. I think our overall culture of our studio is very caring and loving, and we really care. Everybody cares about each other and the fitness and well-being of everyone.
So if they're looking for a studio around them, look at the culture.
The culture.
Look at the instructor.
The instructors. How are you greeted? Are people polite to you? And then, maybe talking to some of the other students there. What's their experience? Looking at Google reviews. I'm sorry. That's always an important thing.
I think that's a very good point.
Reviews. And just trying it out, and like I said, even if for you trying out might not be jumping into class, for you trying it out might be just observing, and that's okay,
Yeah. So the important thing you would say is making the plan and taking the first step, because action is what gets you to where you want to go.
Yes.
Right. So before we sign off, so how much weight have you lost? Because you look great.
Wow. So I've gone up and down in the last few years, but once we started on the challenges, I was I will say my highest weight was almost 167.
And for those people who don't know, you're 4'11". Did I give you too many inches? Did I give you too many inches?
I'll say 5 feet, but 4'11 3/4.
And I'm 6'5". That's good.
He wishes he was 6'5". But so I was about 167, and now, so my goal weight was 135, and that's where I am. Up and down a couple pounds. Sometimes I'm 133, sometimes I'm 136.
And that's okay, because you have to live.
Yes.
Right.
So I would like to lose another 5 pounds, but I feel overall it's not always about losing weight. It's how you feel. My energy is good, but also, I feel like I've toned up in places. And I always try to keep in mind, sometimes for some people when you work out, for me, I'm always going to have bigger legs probably. And when I work out more, that turns into muscle, which is good. But, that's going to be pounds, muscle's heavier. So I try to keep those things. It's not always about the number. It's how I feel. How do I feel when I look in the mirror? How do I feel when I try on clothes? I've noticed this year's dresses and summer things I bought last year didn't fit. And I was like, what? I was like, yay, I lost weight. But then I was like, man, I got to buy new clothes. But then I was like, yeah, I lost weight. So it's kind of
yeah. And so my last question would be the Aleah that was 167 pounds. What would she like to say to this Aleah now?
Keep eating healthier because it makes you feel good. Keep working out because it makes you feel good. And it not only does it make you feel good physically, but emotionally.
And how proud is that Aleah of this Aleah right
I'm
now?
proud. I was it's sometimes you don't even realize it, but then you look at a picture of yourself and you're like, oh, wow. You're like, oh, I see it. And then everyone's like, oh my God, you look different. You lost weight. You look good. They're like, oh, you lost your thighs. I'm like, I still got meat. But they're like, you lost weight, but not in a bad way,
Right.
And it's just wow, because sometimes you don't notice it, but other people notice it. And then that makes you feel good too.
I think other people notice it first before you do.
Before you notice it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Aleah, this was great.
Thanks. It was fun.
I'm definitely glad you shared that with everybody. And
open-minded, tell it like it is.
And then take action if you're not where you want to be.
Yes. Take action. Bye.
Hey guys, Dr. Marc here. Now I know a lot of you want to know how we get all these amazing results with our clients, and it comes down to 3 things. The first is fun fitness classes that burn a lot of calories. 2 is giving you an accountability coach to make sure you stay on track and get the best results. And 3 is the nutrition. Included in the nutrition is our food supplements. So we pair with Prestige Labs because I feel they're the best, they have integrity, and they get great results. These are actually the supplements that I take as well. Here's the awesome part. By clicking the link below, you can save 40% off the retail price. So you need that link to actually save 40%. If you just go to the normal site without my link, you're paying full price, okay? So these are the supplements my clients use. If you are interested, definitely click the link below and it'll tell you all about them.